All right, we're live in three, two. Yo, what up? What up? What up? It has been 234 days since the national championship in January. It's time again. Week one is here. Pay for play. Your boys are in the building. We got a new face, should I say, in the building with us. We'll get into that. Introduce him. He's familiar to the platform, so we don't really got to introduce him too much. But week zero was amazing. We'll go over that a little bit. We'll get into week one games, get into our best bets, and we have a team that we have to talk about from week zero. But to start, we got our guy Sosa. He's going to be joining us this year. He's in the building. My brother, how you doing?
Oh man, feeling great. It's been a little minute, man. Feeling a little nostalgic now, Been been off the wagon for 2 years, man. I'm right back on. Damn.
Back at it like a crack addict, baby. There we go. There we go. Well,
Glad to be back though. Glad to be back. Y'all been doing a great job with Paid for Play. Y'all are consistent with it. And I'm just here to add value and bring the people more money.
there we go. There we go. That's exactly what we love to do. And then we got our boy Sam, of course, as always, brother. How you doing?
Still recovering from our beach trip. Probably about 11 hours of sleep over 3 nights. So it's going to be a week-long thing, but the kind of like our honeymoon last year whenever we got back, coming back right into first weekend of college football. No better weekend to just sit on the couch and relax and not do anything. So I'm looking forward to it. It's like Christmas morning is here.
Exactly. That's what it's for, brother. That's exactly what it's for. So we will get into week one. Obviously, there were some Thursday games. We'll get into those next week. We're recording a little early today, but it's all right. We'll get into everything. We'll get into Dion. We'll get into all of that. Okay. But I wanted to get into the week zero matchup that we saw. We told you, me and Sam, that Tech ain't no way they're getting blown out by two tutties, to FSU. We got it, as Sosa calls his man DJ Ugly Liar down there in Florida State. He lied. He lied to all of y'all who took that 13. So I just wanted to get into their chances to make the playoff going forward. Obviously, that's a crippling loss to take, not only it being a conference game, but it being so early in the season, especially with the schedule they got set up here. And we got the schedule here for y'all to look at. So starting with Sosa, I guess, is it over for them? Like, is it cooked? Was this their only opportunity to be comfortable in, these latter weeks?
Bro, it was over at halftime. Season was over at halftime, brother.
It was.
Like, you getting dominated in the trenches by Georgia Tech. And I know they got a new coach and he's bringing a new identity and all that cool stuff and all that cute, good, fun stuff. But come on, like
Yeah.
to get like just out physical. You're supposed to have better athletes. The transfer portal is supposed to make you immediately good, and you've had players that played other places, and they're just gonna come in and just fit the role and don't worry about the two guys in the trenches you lost to the NFL, and then you just get smoked in the line of scrimmage every single play. It just, I love to see it though, because they're not beating Clemson. You look at the schedule. They're not beating Clemson. Damn sure not beating us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think they beat Miami, to be honest, either.
Yeah,
Like,
the way they played, they have one win on that schedule potentially, and it's Florida. Just because they play Florida at the end of the season, and with Florida's gauntlet, like they could just be a dead dog with a lame duck coach at that point, or a coach that's not even there.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I'll go a step further. So their season ended whenever DJU got signed. Like he is not the savior. We've known that for so long, and for them to like trot him out there like he was gonna keep this offense at the same level that they were producing at last year after losing offensive line talent, after losing those two good receivers. They lost Benson as well. They lost their tight end. They lost so many players. Like they were loaded last year, and it was their chance. We won't get into like the playoff situation, but yeah, I mean, there's just too much to overcome. Plus, you have a conference game to start in Ireland. Like it was never going to be a blowout. And if they play like that in the trenches against the rest of these teams in their gauntlet, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, it's not at all. I mean, even with the fact that they didn't even want to pass the ball downfield, you clearly saw that Norvell was scared of his quarterback. Like everything was drag, screens, whatever it could be under 5 yards, which I mean, it's glaring to me. And then when he did trust him, you saw he was inaccurate.
This is my thing, though. I think that we're not really as hard on Norvell because we know what we're getting with DJ, and for you not to even try to make like some level of explosive plays over the middle of the field where you giving him an opportunity to just get a one-on-one with a receiver, or just give him somewhere he can throw to a spot. I mean, he was airmailing passes to the popcorn man. Like he had a couple pretty bad ones too. So again, I don't think that they really empowered him. I don't think they really tried to get like any level of like offensive flow going where it was like, if you're going to run the ball, commit to doing it.
Yes.
And say, listen, if you don't hand it off, you're going to have to run for 3-4 yards just to keep us ahead of schedule or on schedule at some point during the game. And they just never did it. So Norvell, I think this is great. This is great for my Deion to Florida State agenda. They forget fast when you lose games, okay? And they didn't win a championship or anything. So I don't think his job's as safe as people think. He lose 6-7 games. I hate to say it, but it ain't. And I mean, they're not like they're not in some situation where they're like high. They have a bunch of high level talent everywhere.
I would think he's safe strictly because his name got thrown around in the Bama search. His agent did a great job. I don't think he was ever in consideration, but he got him that buyout, and it's going to be tough to get out in year one.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, of course, I think with what he lost to the portal or to the draft, should I say, I think getting a quarterback in the portal who's on team number 3, they might be able to give him some leeway, especially after what happened last year. Everybody was super upset. Obviously, we know we blew their doors off in the Orange Bowl, but still, I think he'll get a little leeway this year. Now, next year, if some shit like this happens, I think that's totally out the window. They might find the money from whoever they got to find the money for, especially with Shedeur leaving, Travis leaving, Shiloh, if he even matters in the equation. He probably doesn't, but I'm just being honest. Like, we love Shiloh, but he literally listed his favorite kids. Like, come on now. Like, I'm that's not me saying that. That's him. Just being honest. So I'm just saying. So we'll have to see with Florida State. I mean, I think that this season, like I said, it's over. Even with the 12-team playoff, I don't see it being good for them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So we'll keep it pushing, and we'll get into today's slate of games. Now, first game, since we have a newcomer, he's here for the permanent, but he's new, so we'll oblige, and we'll go to where College Game Day will be this Saturday morning. Notre Dame is going to one of the worst cities in Texas. There are very many bad cities in Texas. College Station is up there in the top 3 of the worst cities in Texas, but whatever. Notre Dame, an early test, at Texas A&M, an SEC school. We'll start with Sosa as a Notre Dame fan. What are you looking for in this game? How is, your optimism level, this year with Marcus Freeman being in year 2, having Riley Leonard, having, a bevy of talent? What do you think is going to be, you guys' future this year?
And it's year 3?
I thought it was year 2. Is year 3?
Year 3.
Okay, it's year 3. There we go.
Same as BK and LSU, right? It's year 3.
Year 3.
Yeah, same deal. First and foremost, bro, I think we got the best defense in college football from front to back. I think that you're gonna have a hard time finding a better. I mean, you're probably gonna say Georgia, maybe Ohio State. Well, Ohio State's got a ton of talent on their defense as well. There's a couple other schools you could probably throw in the mix. But listen, I think from on every level, the defense is elite. I finally get a sneaky athlete at quarterback, not a fake one. And I think Riley Leonard adds a different dimension offensively that we haven't had since we had a guy that looked like Deshaun Golson or what's my Deshaun Kaiser. He had got a little bit of wiggle to him, can move around a little bit. Honestly, at the beginning of last year, they had me sipping the Kool-Aid and then went to Louisville and the season ended.
Yeah.
I still to this day think that Louisville was cheating in that game, by the way.
What did they do?
In the second half, they knew everything we were doing. I mean, it was clear as day. Like they knew exactly what we were running.
Apparently everyone's doing it.
But yeah, but that's on us. Like that's on us if they knew exactly what we were calling. Either way, this game, I like Elko. I think Elko's a damn good coach. I just think it's going to take a little bit of time for that talent to really catch on. Obviously, he's familiar with the landscape at Texas A&M, having coached there before, so he understands the expectations are lofty for a program that hasn't won shit since any of us have been alive.
Yes.
They have an infinite amount of money. Everyone's familiar with that. Elko was actually able to save some of the guys from leaving, which I think bodes well for him. I think from a talent standpoint, Texas A&M is right there with everyone. The expectation and understanding of what they're going to bring on the football field is kind of a mystery. We don't really know. From a talent standpoint, they are there. I like us in the game. I think we're being disrespected. I think people are giving the 12th man a lot of credit. Obviously, you go to College Station, everybody acts like it's like going to hell for 3 hours. People go in there and win all the time. So I don't know why it would be a problem for us. I like us to win. Obviously, I'm taking the points. I think our defenses will hold it down. I think we have enough from the quarterback position and the trenches to beat any team in America. And I think we win this week. It's about being consistent and contending for a top 12 spot because we're not going to get one of those Power 5 spots at the top. Sam, what are your thoughts on
Yeah, I mean, I think Notre Dame overall is the better team. I think Elko is the right hire in A&M. I guess it's interesting it's going to be interesting to watch Elko go up against his former quarterback. Like Riley knows that defense a little bit. He knows Riley's weaknesses a little bit. I don't know if I am mishearing that or misheard this, but did you all, are your all's like tackles down in camp at all?
They were banged up.
Banged up. Yeah.
They were banged up, but
hearing that is the only thing that worries me because you all just lost 2 to the draft. And
absolutely.
The defensive front for A&M is their best part of their team, especially with Elko coming back. Kyle Field isn't the hardest place to go win. It's going to be a different environment than Notre Dame's been in the last couple of years. I mean, the shoe is really the only comparison for that. So yeah, I would lean the home team strictly on I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I don't know. I could see this game going under and potentially neither team getting to even 20 points. It's just going to be a defensive shootout. And I think both defenses are going to be really good and it's going to be some ugly football. But, I mean, a good defensive battle to start the season from these two teams is something I'd expect.
Yeah, I mean, the number's at 46 right now, so that just gives you kind of a preview of what Vegas is thinking. This is probably, like you said, going to be a defensive battle. What I'm watching is our boy Connor, okay? I know a lot of people don't think he's good, all right? Sam, I won't even bring it up, okay? I won't bring it up, Sam.
I haven't seen him healthy enough to know if he's good.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. And I think, I think their offensive line is going to be decent to good again. Defensive line obviously is going to be monstrous. Weapons, I mean, you lose Evan Stewart, it's a big loss. But I think they can be competent on that end. So this is going to be a team that rides the defense, all year long. So whoever, can limit the team, I think the other side to 20 points, I think wins the game, to be honest. So I would also, I don't know. I'm really conflicted on this one. I would take the under as a play just in general, but I kind of lean Notre Dame with the 3. I think they're giving Texas A&M the 3 just solely, obviously because they're at home. But there's still a lot of question marks, and we still, even though Elko does know, Riley and his, weaknesses, I think there's a lot more certainty on Notre Dame's end rather than Texas A&M's end, if that makes sense. So any official plays that y'all want to get out, or any other thoughts you want to get on this game?
I'm on Notre Dame plus 3 for certain, and I'm on them to win the game. I also bet them on the money line. At the end of the day, I think we all agree Elko is a damn good football coach. I like the quarterback on my side. I think by first week in October, this Texas A&M team ain't gonna be nothing you want to really see.
Yeah,
but I think it's just going to take a little bit of time for all the things to come together. And I think again the continuity on the other side is what shines through for me. So that I'm official on Notre Dame for sure. Not as a fan, but because I think we're a national title contending team based on the talent that's going to be on the field.
For sure.
Sam? I did have A&M -3, but I mean it's more so like it doesn't make sense to me. So it's kind of like a Costanza pick. Like every instinct I have is telling me to take Notre Dame in this, but like it just feels like a weird line, and weird things happen in College Station all the fucking time. So
yes, this is true. This is facts. We saw Johnny Manziel.
I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm scared, but I really believe in this defense, man. Like it's a pro defense. It's a lot of pros out there, man. Guys are gonna play at the next level. It's a lot of them out there, and we can match any. This is a test. Like, I want to see us, and I think it's like we have to perform against an SEC caliber. Like it has to be SEC team. We got like those are the teams you have to benchmark yourself against, because it doesn't matter if it's in week 1, you lose this game and you win all the other ones, and your goal is to just be top 12. And but again, at the end of the day, you have to.
You're going to have to beat one at some point.
You got to win this one. It's got to happen. So that's Marcus Freeman has already started changing some things. I think this is a resounding moment where it carries through.
There we go. All right. Love to hear it. So we'll see about that one. Now we'll go to the Battle of the Bastards. All right. And me and Sam are really disappointed that we can't hate watch Texas A&M and hate on Jimbo anymore. We're very upset. But we got our number one. We got our number one still, baby. He's still there. Sunbelt Billy.
I'm like the dude in Billy Madison. I've crossed Jimbo off the list. Billy Napier's next.
In bold letters, Billy Napier is right here. And I don't think Mario Cristobal is on that list for me. Maybe, I can think he's a little bit overrated, but I don't hate him like, we did Sunbelt Billy. Yeah, it's not really that. But we got Florida hosting Miami. All right. Now, the Canes obviously have our boy Cam Ward coming from Wazoo, which is a huge upgrade at quarterback, because we all saw what happened last year, especially in that Tech game. Sorry, Miami fans. But Miami has a whole load of talent on this football team, okay? You got Damian Martinez there, you got Restrepo on this team. All right. Cam Ward, I already mentioned. The defense is going to be good this year. Miami seems to be slowly putting it all together, but we got to see the actual end product. So, Sam, I'll start with you. Going into the Swamp, week 1, do you think Miami can do it and make a statement this early in the season, or do you think it's going to take some time, especially with a new quarterback?
Absolutely. Cam is the difference maker on this team, and he's by far the best quarterback Cristobal's had at Miami. And I'm not going to buy into the fact that just because Florida has a lot of like returning production on defense, that their defense is just automatically good. Like if you return a lot from a bad defense, it doesn't just make your defense good. Their offensive line wasn't very good. I think Miami needs to step up and prove something here. And I was listening to a podcast earlier today where someone was saying like Miami doesn't need this game. And I think that's the farthest thing from the truth. Like this is a recruiting battle game. This is a step up and drop your nuts on the table. Like we're here or we're not. So I think that's where Miami's mentality is. They have aspirations to make the playoffs. They obviously want to win the ACC. They just saw Florida State go out and get embarrassed. If they go out and lose to Florida, like they're going to hear it just as bad, and Florida is going to be running their mouth. Can't let Florida get hot, and we cannot give them any kind of momentum this year. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a big game for Cam. Come out, and maybe if he has a big game, like he's definitely leaving with some early Heisman hype.
Yeah, for sure. I can agree with that for sure. So how you feeling about this one?
The only coach at a Division I school dumber than Mario Cristobal is Billy Napier. So the Canes are safe. I think they're safe. I think y'all said all. Yeah, I mean, Sam he summed it up the best. They tried to sell us on Van Dyke. I think we all kind of know he wasn't it. I think everyone was kind of consensus. He's not as nice as people are projecting him to be. We've seen Cam Ward win. The only thing that rubbed me the wrong way with Cam Ward all ever was when he was doing the workouts with Shedeur during the summer. He started telling people how I don't feel like y'all got better today. Like, relax, bro. We know you're in like your 10th year of college, but like you don't need to be saying that to people who are more talented than you because you don't know how they work, what their process is. Some people don't need to get a bajillion reps doing the same thing over and over. So what works for you might not work for other people. So I didn't like that. But outside of that, he is the most talented quarterback that Cristobal's had at Miami. But at the end of the day, Cristobal always finds a way to get in his way.
Yeah.
So, but Napier's worse at doing that. So here we are. We're going to pick the lesser of two evils. And it turns out that Cristobal just happens to win the short man contest in this particular situation.
I agree. And look, I'm a Georgia fan, obviously, even though they're too scared to show off this home field advantage that they have in the swamp against us. And they choose to do it at a stadium that's an hour away from their campus. But that's not nor here nor there. I just don't get the allure of the swamp anymore. Like, this ain't 08. This ain't 07. This ain't 06. Like,
Roddy, they sing Tom Petty song.
No. Oh my God. Is Tom Petty still with us, by the way? I don't mean to
RIP Tom Petty.
Oh, okay. All right. My bad. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry. I didn't know. I had to ask. When I don't know, I ask questions.
I actually didn't know. I just wouldn't have asked.
No, he's not there. The night they honored him is like the night Jaden threw for like 300 and rushed for another 150. So
see, there you go. Even their traditions get shit on. All right, even when it's important. Like,
it's a fake tradition. They started like 3 years ago.
Yeah. Sam, did you get the Jaden Daniels Commanders jersey yet or no?
Nah.
When are you getting it?
I'm not a jersey guy. I don't even have like a Burrow jersey. So.
For real?
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Don't spend $100 on a Commander's jersey, brother. I'll be mad at you.
I'm kind of shocked. I know you. This man loves LSU. Lord, Dylan Cruz jersey, no.
I'm a baseball jersey guy. I have a baseball jersey.
Okay. There we go.
But baseball jerseys, they're more like a button down. It's not like like it's not the same fit.
And don't do the baseball football jersey like a football team on a baseball. Yeah, you're definitely.
This is gonna really
the Nelly video. What the hell?
This is gonna really sidebar this, but soon on this wall, I did. My dad for our wedding last year got me a Skeens World Series jersey, and I got it signed whenever he was in Indy this year. So that will be on the wall soon.
There we go. Making a lot of people money in the MLB, I'm sure.
Yeah. You talk about NIL making somebody a tiger.
Yeah. Look, he's
all about country. So he's all about his country.
Country and what, y'all? How many millions? I'm saying what? And no. What else was funny to me? And this is what's important. Like, you notice Miami, first year of NIL was in the Final Four of basketball. First year NIL is available. They somehow just get a brand new roster, pay a bunch of kids, get to Final Four. It's crazy how it works. It's crazy how money is just dictating a lot of this stuff. And I don't think some people have really noticed that. Like Miami, of all the schools to make it to a Final Four, football school, first year NIL, Final Four in basketball. That's why nobody cared about how bad the football team was that year.
Yeah, and now the football team, as you can see, they got hella talent on the field. So we'll see. But I got an official play in this one. I'm taking Miami with the 2.5. I don't think. I mean, look, Graham Mertz.
It's my hate bet for the week.
He was halfway decent last year. I'm still mad at Florida for what they did to me versus Kentucky. They should have won that damn game. I'm so mad at them for that. But losing Trevor, I think, is going to be huge. I know Montel is, or Montrell. I'm sorry, he's a decent running back. He took,
he's
Trevor
banged up though too.
Yeah, but he's hurt, and I don't really believe in this offense at all. Like I just don't. Ricky's gone too. I'm not feeling it. And I think Miami's going to have enough offensively to get the ball down the field, score, and then I think defensively they're going to be amazing. I think they're going to put pressure on Graham, and I think it's going to be over from there. So I think this 2.5. If this game was in Miami, I think this would be a -4.5 Miami's way, or a -5. I just think they're giving the allure of week 1 and the allure of the swamp a little bit more credence than it should. And if we're looking at Miami's schedule, they got Florida, then they got FAMU, Ball State, and South Florida. They don't get tested again until September 27th when they host Virginia Tech. So this is, really favorable, and it's really important for Miami to win this game, because looking at the rest of their schedule, we obviously saw in the earlier segment that they play FSU as well, but it's looking like they'll probably be favored in that matchup too. So I think this is huge, to start the year off right, out of conference game, big test to the environment. You can go home, after these handful of games, and we can see what you're really made of. So we'll put a bookend on that, and we'll go to our next game, which I have a tad bit of personal investment in. Clemson is coming to Atlanta, and they're facing the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, I know when we play one certain team, who I will not mention, in Atlanta, things usually don't go well, okay? But in other games that we play in Atlanta, all right, against that other team that I will not still mention, we're damn good, all right? I don't think we've lost a game in Atlanta that has been against non-Alabama in almost a decade, I think. So when you're looking at this matchup, we'll start with Sosa. Clemson's coming in. They're favorited to win the ACC, but I guess they're not as marquee as they would have been, or they have been in the past, since they don't have the big name quarterback, but they do have the defense. So when you're looking at this Clemson and Georgia matchup, how are you seeing it, and who do you like in the game?
This is the biggest game of Dabo's since he's won a championship. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I think this is the biggest game he's had on the schedule since Trevor Lawrence walked out the school. He trying to prove he can do it his way. He not with the transfer portal. Georgia's the most talented, probably top to bottom, most talented team in college football. It's probably between them and Ohio State, in my opinion. I mean, both teams are just absolutely loaded. 13.5 feels so disrespectful, because I think this Clemson defense is A1, and I'm so thankful we don't play them. But man, and Georgia, and the game is played where? At the Benzo?
At the Benz. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my heart says take Clemson with the points and give them a chance, but I do not believe in the quarterback. I don't believe the quarterback's good enough to make enough plays against those athletes on the other side. And I think that he'll galaxy brain it like he always does. And it won't even be his fault. He just, he going against pros. And if you're going to beat Georgia, you got to have a game-breaking quarterback. And I don't see that on the other side. So that's, I would have to lean towards Georgia probably winning and covering this one. Beck, obviously, everybody's hounding for Heisman, but it's so hard for a Georgia quarterback to win a Heisman, because he won't necessarily put up those video game numbers. So, maybe if he's super efficient, has a bunch of touchdowns and 2 or 3 picks, then it'll weigh on his side. But I lean towards Georgia winning and covering. It's just some things don't change.
Yeah, I agree personally, but I'm biased. Sam, how you feeling about this one?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was the Oregon game played in Atlanta whenever Georgia dog walked them?
I believe so.
Yes, sir.
Same edition. Same thing.
Yeah,
annual ass whooping.
It feels like that to me. That's the kind of game this is. I think the line was probably a little bit higher on Georgia That I think that Georgia team was better, personally. But yeah, it feels like that, and I have Georgia minus 13.5 as an official play. Um, they're like Sosa said, one of the two best teams in college football, and I think they're very excited to get out and show that after not being in the playoffs last year. I know they've had the number one next to them pretty much all off season, but in a way, it feels like it's been kind of a quiet, like, for the hype off season for them. But yeah, it just feels like they're ready to step up and prove to everybody just how good they are. I don't believe in Klubnik. I don't think Garrett Riley's system is all that great. And outside of the year at TCU, where it worked for them in the Big 12, might work in the ACC later this year. But you're stepping up against a whole different kind of athlete with Georgia. So I don't think that they've got it.
Yeah, and it's funny that you mentioned Garrett Riley because they replayed the 22 Natty on TV today, and I was watching it while I was capping some of these games. Yeah, that offense didn't work out too well against that Bulldogs defense, so I don't think it will in this situation either. Now, I just an overall Georgia preview, I guess. I think the linebacker position, I think we can go 3 deep. We have 3 of the best linebackers in the country. Raylan Wilson is a dog. Smile Munden is a dog. CJ Allen is a dog. Malachi Starks is probably going to be the first defensive back off the board. He might be. Maybe I'm being biased. Maybe. I might have got ahead of myself. But he's the best safety in college football. I don't think there's an argument. Who's better? Who's better than Malachi? Go ahead. Humor me. Who's better than him?
That boy Caleb Downs is a different type, bro. Oh my God, dog! You have to slow down, brother. That kid, listen, Caleb Downs is the most impressive 19-year-old I've ever seen in my life, ever in college sports. Because I hate Ohio State and I hate Alabama, but my God, bro, like he knows how to handle the media. He knows how to play all over. So I like Starks. Don't get me wrong. I think he's amazing. I think he's an amazing talent. But bro, like if you like Caleb Downs, like he got like that Kyle Hamilton type of feel to him when he like he just know where to be around the ball. He one of them. So I agree. That's why I was very happy when you said it. But when you said he was the best, I had to. I'm sorry.
Free safety. Let me say that free safety because Caleb's a strong. So free safety in college football. Because I saw the masterclass Caleb put on in Atlanta last year. It's inarguable. The kid is the goods. I was shucking and jiving for him when he was in the transfer portal too. Can't sit here and act like I wasn't. All right, we got T-Rob. I was like, yes, got Caleb. We did. He went to Ohio State, but it is what it is. But I'm not gonna bet on the spread on this one personally. I do think Georgia does cover, but I didn't want to bet with my heart. So I have a couple of that will pull up in best bets. I'll hash them for people who are joining later. Dominic Lovett, I got him over 52.5 receiving yards with Ra Thomas being dismissed from, the team, obviously with, the incident that we won't even speak on. It's a lot of things going on with that. But Dominic is a guy that, Carson is familiar with. He's a great route runner. He's a speed guy as well. So I would be taking that. I didn't get a line for Dylan Bell yet. If his yards are anything in the 30s or 40s, I would definitely be taking him too. But what I'm really optimistic about is my guy Oscar Delp, our tight end. We all saw what Brock did for 3 years in a Georgia jersey. I think Oscar, while he is not as good, I think we kind of put the same emphasis on him being a good receiving threat. I think he gets in the end zone. That's at plus 225. So that would be good for your money, in my opinion. So those are my 2 plays that I'm giving out right now. Dominic Lovett, over 52.5 receiving yards. And then Oscar Delp for an anytime touchdown, plus 225. Anything else y'all got on these games? Or this game, should I say? Nope. All right, cool. Now, let's get into Sam's neck of the woods. And we got, I forgot Apple does that when you put a thumbs up. That's There we go. Technology. All right. Now, I'm not sure if Vegas, because they made this mistake, Sam, in Green Bay, where they didn't order enough liquor for the game. I don't know if they order enough liquor. I mean, Vegas, city with a lot of liquor, okay? Any 24-hour town, you're going to have a lot of liquor. But I still
They don't
think
have
they need
enough.
to order more. You're
They
going to have
don't
to
have
order.
enough.
Come on. For two drinking-ass fan bases, USC might not be known in the public as a super drinking fan
We
base, but
don't.
they are.
We don't need them. LSU
Oh,
fans
no.
are showing up in
Come on.
droves.
The state of Louisiana can outdrink any state combined, in my opinion. Okay, alcohol is way too inexpensive there to say otherwise. So we got a matchup. Miller Moss is USC's new quarterback this year after losing. I mean, the best thing that's ever happened to Lincoln Riley. Let's be honest. I know he had Kyler. I get he had Jalen Hurts, but this is the best thing that happened to Lincoln Riley. Caleb Williams, that being. So you got a new start with Miller Moss. Obviously, you got guys like Zach Branch. We got that fraud of Bear Alexander on the defense. You got some pieces on the USC team, but I'm looking at LSU's offense, and I'm thinking I'm seeing fireworks this year, to be honest with you. And we've already discussed, how they're going to fare throughout this season and their schedule and how favorable it is for them. So, Sam, we'll start with you since this is your squad. How are you feeling about this game, and what are you looking for in terms of, betting?
I'll be honest. I would be lying if I said I wasn't scared. But after watching that defense last year and going up against the Lincoln Riley team, I don't know how you couldn't be. I believe in the defensive change, the staff changes and everything, and think that's going to be the defense is going to be improved this year. But to have to deal with a guy like Zach Branch and Miller Moss, who looked really good in the bowl game, to have to deal with that in the opening week. I hate these fucking big week one games. Like, they're killing me. We haven't won an opener
3 years in a row, isn't it?
We haven't won an opener since 19. Like, that was the last time we won one. And it's starting to take a toll on me. And but yeah, I will say I think LSU's offensive line is the most dominant unit in this game. You got 2 first-round offensive tackles. You've got probably all 5 guys drafted at some point, probably 4 of them getting drafted next year. But the teams kind of mirror each other, both losing a Heisman quarterback, a lot of defensive changes. Don't really know what you're going to get there. So I do believe in Nuss, just no turnovers, no stupid shit. But I'm wondering if LSU kind of plays a little ball control with the new clock rules and it kind of being able to play time of possession. If the defense isn't giving up explosive plays and USC needs to drive the ball, I think that's if you limit explosive plays, that's going to be the key to winning this game. You've got 2 really good running backs. Caleb Jackson, I feel, is far superior to Josh Williams, but Josh Williams will play a lot still. And the receivers, they're not Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors, but Lacey and CJ Daniels are both really good, and one of the best tight ends in the country. BK is always going to give you that. So it's all going to come down to the defense. If you can get some stops, over 64 feels like stealing money. It feels too low. So, I mean, I can't trust either defense. Obviously, there's been a lot of changes, but tried and true for us last year, so we're going back to the well. No play on either side. Because I am scared.
Okay, that's all right. That's all right. Not mad at that. All right. So as a neutral party, I guess, how are you feeling about this game?
Scared, man. Give me LSU -4. He don't got a franchise caliber quarterback. He's not going to do shit. Lincoln Riley's the biggest fraud in college football history. I'll stand on that. Him first, and then Lane Kiffin. But we'll talk about Lane some other day.
Ooh.
Riley. Complete joke, in my opinion. Couldn't win with superstars. He ain't winning shit this year. It's over. Season's already over before it started. They're gonna lie about NIL. Listen, Lincoln Riley was never a great coach. He got blessed by an incumbent situation with Stoops out the door at Oklahoma. He inherited a lot of talent. He got some quarterbacks to transfer and play for him in the same offense that Josh Heupel could probably do the same thing with. So at the end of the day, he gets no respect from me. Give me LSU minus the 4. I'm not scared at all.
Okay.
I think BK is comfortable. This is Brian Kelly we talking about, man.
This is the most confident he's sounded coming into a season.
You know,
yeah. And I think I don't know if you all have heard it. I know I'm obviously running a different Twitter circle with all my LSU follows and everything, but Will Campbell, top 10, top 5 pick in next year's draft. He is very confident. And
oh yeah.
He's got that big country voice, and he sits up there and he tells you, we're going to run the damn ball. And going to believe that. So I feel good about this offensive line, and I don't think USC's offensive line is that big of an advantage over our front.
Mm-hmm.
You also notice with BK, he when the team's not as touted, the team overperforms. When the expectations don't seem like they're lofty, and they did that at Notre Dame too. Like it'd be like, oh well, we kind of think we have this, and then you look up and they're 7-0.
Mm-hmm.
They done found a way to win all these games, and they're right there. So I'm not putting anything past BK this year. Obviously, when he took the job at LSU, he knew that the school itself the name itself was good enough to get NFL talent through the door. He had a rough year. See, it's also rough because he had an actual NFL quarterback last year. So it's I don't know what the grade out is on Nussmeier. I think
I think he's an NFL quarterback, but I mean,
the fan base loves him. They rock with him.
He's a family NFL guy. I mean, his dad's been a quarterback coach his whole life. I mean, he just needs to stop. Just don't do dumb shit. Like, I understand picks are going to happen. Like, you're not going to be Jaden Daniels. You're not going to be dropping dimes left and right and not turning the ball over. So, like, that's going to happen, but just limit the mistakes. If he throws less than 10 this year, that's a good season, really good season.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think, Sam, we'll have a talk it out real quick here because I want to get some action on this game, but I'm a little conflicted. I'm thinking about the over. I know you said the over is stealing money, but I also think, I didn't see anything, added to this LSU team that made me think touchdown Travis Hunter, by the way. I didn't see anything. I don't see anything that makes me feel like this defense is going to do anything that they didn't do last year. Like, I get it. You got Bear in the middle to stop the run, maybe, but I love Josh Williams. We already know he's a veteran type of guy. I've already spoken to Sam about how I feel about Kyron on NCAA. I think in real life, he's going to be that damn good as well. Like it was said by, that old guy, you can shake a tree in Louisiana and get hella receiver talent. So I think that's going to be too much for the defensive backs of USC. I'm leaning on, them getting 5 touchdowns easy. The team total for LSU is at 34.5. I'm going over on that. And that's how it's going to be. It's going to be an entertaining game. I'm glad this is a standalone game at 7:30 in Vegas. I mean, you can't get any better than that. So
you can't until something happens where you lose, and then you just have to sit there and fucking take it on Twitter all night.
Yeah.
I'm hurt. I'm an injured fan. I've been hurt.
Hey, look, streaks are meant to be broken, brother. Don't even worry about it. Streaks are meant to be broken. So now that we got the important stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our best bets for the week. Who wants to go first? I don't care. Whoever wants to go first can go first.
I'll go. I try to keep it short just because my thing is usually the laundry list of plays. Week 1, transfer portal era, never really know what you're going to get. So tried to keep it pretty short. I already have Georgia minus 13.5, made A&M -3 in official play. LSU, USC over 64, and Miami -2.5. West Virginia +8. I'm still not believing in Drew Aller. I know I'm not going to believe in Penn State until they prove me wrong. This offense has been dog water the last few years and has been under James Franklin's tenure. I think that's a tough road environment, especially in week 1. So we'll see if the hype is real around Drew Aller or not. But I'm going to take West Virginia in a one-possession game, keep that under the 8. Michigan, Fresno State, under 46. This feels like an ugly game. Don't really know what we're going to get out of Michigan's offense. And I doubt they show a lot coming with them having to play Texas next week at the Crib.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say they keep it nice, clean. I know their defense is still going to be legit. They've got a lot of really good players coming back. I think Fresno's going to have a tough time running the ball, and Michigan's just not really going to do a lot to show what all they have in their offense. So, yeah, we're going to go under 46 there. And then this is kind of a heat check, see if it still works. Bama, first half, minus 20.5 against Western Kentucky. I think Kalen DeBoer comes out, tries to get this offense going. They still got talent there. Jalen's probably going to put up some numbers. They're going to try to get him a Heisman. Give me a big first half number for Bama.
Okay, I like it. We might have some words later on when I give my best bets, but it's okay. We'll wait. Sosa, what is your best bets for week 1, 24-25 season?
All right, so we already got to 2 of them. Obviously, I like Notre Dame with the +3. I also like them on the money line, and I love LSU. My 2 other plays are going to be I like Nebraska minus 14.5 first half. Look ahead spot. They're going to try to go in there and they're going to try to beat the shit out of UTEP in the first half. They're going to showcase Rayola's arm. They're going to put, Matt Rule has got that team finally. They believe in the vision. He's a damn good football coach. He's going to resurrect things there. I've always believed in him. Obviously has huge ties to Philadelphia. Second year in every program he's been at, they've turned it around. It's what he does. He got these kids believing. They spent the check on a quarterback. I expect a team that's wildly competitive week to week. I think I'm expecting fireworks looking ahead to next week. Notre Dame money line, and obviously I like LSU. Nebraska is the real one, the one where I really, really love. Like I said, obviously it's a chalk line, but I think we see them go out in the first half, and in the second half, you see a lot of their starters just kind of out of the game, kind of like just packing it up. So those are the 3. Sam, you're going to be a happy man. I do not believe in USC against the athletes they're going to see on Saturday. I think they're going to absolutely get smoked.
I hope you're right. I've been burned too many times to go all in.
They fuck with Nussmeier. All I had to see was the NBA YoungBoy video. I was like, yeah, they fuck with him. They rocking with him for real.
They like that guy for sure. All right, well, I'll get into mine real quick. I'm going on the opposite end, Sam. I get that a lot of people are maybe, saying that West Virginia is undervalued. They might be underestimated. And I agree, just not in this game. Okay. I think that Nick Singleton is going to run a muckus over West Virginia and those trenches. I think he's going to get whatever he wants. I got his rushing yards over 64.5. That's at minus 115. And then I'm taking Penn State, to be honest with you. Now, if this game, Sam, were post week 5, week 6, I would be with you. I'm not doing the James Franklin after a couple of weeks. But, we've seen this movie before. He's going, reel us in a little bit, and like maybe James Franklin can do it this year. Now, I don't believe in Drew Aller at all. I don't think he's a good quarterback, but I think they'll be able to run the ball. They'll be able to do what they need to do on the ground, and they'll get out of here, I think, with at least a 10-point victory. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think they're going to be able to control the game, with the run game. So I got Penn State minus 7.5. I got that on my book. That's minus 115. Then Nick Singleton, Penn State's running back, got him over 64.5 rushing yards at minus 115 as well. I already said in the Georgia game, I got Oscar Delp to score a touchdown. That's plus 225. And then I got Dominic Lovett over 52.5 receiving yards. I already said that I have the Hurricanes of Miami minus 2.5 going into the Swamp. Just don't believe in Florida. And then to finish it off, I have to go with my alma mater. Okay. Now I'm not picking them. All right. But the Marta Bowl. Okay. Georgia State and Georgia Tech. First time in history these two have played. Now, I understand some people might be thinking Georgia Tech in for a letdown spot or whatever, but trust me, they're going to be able to do whatever the hell they want against Georgia State. All right, I love my school, but I'll be honest with y'all. I was super impressed with the trenches for Georgia Tech. I have them first half at minus 10.5. I think they're up 2 tutties at halftime. I just think they're that damn good running the ball, and I think defensively, Georgia State's not going to be able to do anything. Their quarterback, I don't love him either. He's not very good. So that's what I got in the Marta Bowl. I got Tech. This is my second week in a row betting on Tech. I might lose my Georgia card, but I got them minus 10.5 at the half. All right. So now that we got that out the way, we want to appreciate y'all for tuning in. Week 1, we will have guests, like we said, coming up throughout the year. So be sure to be tuned to that. Subscribe to Win the Day TV on YouTube. Follow us at Paid for Play on Twitter. Follow the guys at Sosa Picks right there, at Dumbbrain Picks on Twitter. Then I don't care about my personal page. You'll see me retweet some of the Pay for Play tweets. Just follow Pay for Play, okay? We're trying to run that up. Anything else you gentlemen want to get into before we get out of here?
Just give me my money.
There we go. Sam?
I'm good. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back.
There we go. We'll be back. Pay for Play.